Jordan and Pakistan were among those countries which were on board, which were taken into confidence by US President Donald Trump while unveiling the Gaza peace plan. How significant is this visit, and how significant is growing ties between the two countries?
Pakistan Jordan relations have a long history, and we have had very close relations, and we continue to have that closeness and that warmth in our bilateral relations.
This Gaza peace plan is going to be discussed in UN Security Council, scheduled to meet on Monday. How you see this particular plan finally reaching a UN Security Council?
Pakistan will be one of the countries that will be called upon to provide us some contingent. Pakistan supports the idea of a stabilization force.
What is scope of cooperation in the domain of security and defense between Pakistan and Jordan?
In the defense field, we have been having many Jordanian military officers coming to Pakistan who go to our military institutions.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Insight in V News English. Dear viewers, in today's conversation, we will focus on Pakistan-Jordan relations in the backdrop of a visit by Jordanian King Abdullah II. King Abdullah II, the King of the Jordan, is the monarch of Jordan who is visiting Pakistan after 21 years. This is quite significant. And when the Jordanian king arrived at Nur Khan Air Base of Pakistan Air Force in Chaklala, Rawalpindi, extraordinary gesture was shown as Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, President Asif Ali Zardari himself received the Jordanian king. The other day, Jordanian king, King Abdullah II, held formal talks with Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif in Islamabad, during which all aspects of bilateral relations, including Gaza's peace plan, was discussed. And it was agreed between Jordan and Pakistan that there will be no compromise on displacement of Palestinians. And we will also discuss this aspect while Palestinians are being displaced. But we will definitely focus, and after talks, both Jordanian King and Prime Minister of Pakistan also witnessed signing of memorandums of understanding and agreements between the two countries, including in art, education, media, and other fields. So to discuss this, what is significance of Pakistan-Jordan bilateral relations? What is the potential of trade and economic ties between two countries, how Pakistan can benefit from Jordan in agricultural field, how Pakistan can enhance its exports to Jordan. To discuss this all, we are fortunate to have with us Pakistan's former ambassador to Jordan, formerly very seasoned diplomat and currently heading Center for International Strategic Studies, Ambassador Sarwar Naqvi. Very warm welcome to program Insight in V News English.
Thank you. I am happy to be here with you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Ambassador Sarwar Naqvi, of course, over last years and years, Pakistan and Jordan enjoy very close ties. And in the past, Pakistani leadership had also opportunity of visiting Jordan. And quite recently, Chief of Army Staff of Pakistan Army Field Marshal Asim Munir in October also visited Jordan. So this is quite significant that Jordanian King is visiting Pakistan. And Jordan and Pakistan were among those countries which were on board, which were taken into confidence by US President Donald Trump while unveiling the Gaza peace plan. How significant is this visit, and how significant is growing ties between the two countries?
Yes, I think this visit is significant precisely for the reason that you have just mentioned, that Jordan was one of the countries that was consulted by President Trump before launching his or announcing his peace plan for Gaza. Uh, and Jordan has a direct interest in the matter because there is a large Palestinian population that lives in Jordan, that has taken refuge in Jordan. Uh, and secondly, Pakistan Jordan relations have a long history, and we have had very close relations, and we continue to have that closeness and that warmth in our bilateral relations. That is the reason why I think both President Zardari and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif thought it appropriate to go to the airport to receive the Jordanian King Abdullah II. It is a very significant and signal gesture of importance and respect and interest in the leadership of Jordan that Pakistan has. The bilateral relationship has been very warm, but it has not had that substance that should be there between such close friends and fellow Muslim country. The economic relationship has to be strengthened. We do have close educational ties because many Jordanian students have been coming to Pakistan from the very beginning. I remember that even when I was in the university in the 1960s, we used to have many Jordanian students with us, also many Palestinian students. So this has, I think, declined a little bit over the years, which we should revive. And we should get students from Jordan to enroll in our universities and learn various important subjects, particularly in the IT field, because our universities are very good, especially universities like NUST, IST, and even
medical institutions.
NDU.
Exactly.
And then they come to our medical institutions. So there is a large number of Pakistanis, of Jordanians who have studied in Pakistan. And they have, in Jordan, in Amman, they have Pakistan Graduates Club, which is a club of all the Jordanians who had studied in Pakistan. So it is a very good feeling for us that Jordan and Pakistan have been together in the education field. In the MOUs that have been signed, there have been MOUs on media and on cultural exchanges. So all the soft power subjects have been focused on, and I think this has great potential for further growth and development.
So, Ambassador Elisab and Elpisab, as you mentioned, that there is a lot of room for improvement in economic and trade ties. What Pakistani products, Pakistani exports, which could reach to the Jordanian market very easily, because Pakistan is exporting a lot to the rest of the Arab world, to the African market. So, Jordan is a very important country in Middle East. So, how Pakistan can enhance its exports to the Jordan market, and in return, what are the essential items which could be imported from Jordan?
Yes. Well, Pakistan could focus on semi-manufactured goods, particularly garments. From the conversion of yarn into clothes will enable us to reach the Jordanian market, and there is a great scope for trade in that field. I remember that there was a man in Jordan who had started importing leather garments from Pakistan, which were very popular over there. So leather jackets and leather coats. Similarly, we can export other surgical goods. We can export our hardware in many items. We are now producing even some cars, and we can also import from Jordan vital commodities, particularly phosphate, which is very important for our fertilizer industry. And the Jordanians have a very big phosphate deposit, which I think we can benefit from. Similarly, Jordan can also supply us some of the other minerals that they have, and we can also have joint ventures in exploring the mineral deposits that they have in Jordan. So there is enough scope for bilateral cooperation in in the economic field, and we should promote those objectives and those targets.
So, since there is also strategic aspect of Pakistan-Jordan relations, as I mentioned in October, Pakistan's Field Marshal Asim Munir was on visit to Jordan as well. There is frequency of that thing, and along with the Jordanian king, we have also witnessed high-level Jordanian defense delegation. What is scope of cooperation in the domain of security and defense between Pakistan and Jordan?
Well, there is a great scope for cooperation in security and defense. Again, in the defense field, we have been having many Jordanian military officers coming to Pakistan who go to our military institutions, particularly the NDU and the Command and Staff College in Quetta and other military, military academy, Kabul and Kakul, and so many other places. So there is a lot of scope for training of Jordanian officers in Pakistan. Plus, there is a lot of scope for strategic exchanges, particularly sharing of intelligence, because Jordanians have good intelligence about the Middle East, and we can provide them intelligence about our region. And there is also scope for working together on many projects, like we have the heavy industries in Texila, HIT, and we have also a POF WA. By the way, Jordan Army has also been purchasing small arms from POF WA. And some of our Pakistani exporters have been sending military uniform, leather boots, and other such things for the Jordanian army, which is a big order and is very useful. So there is a lot of these various areas in which we can meaningfully cooperate with each other. And then we have a very close convergence on political issues, particularly the Palestinian issue. There, Pakistan and Jordan see eye to eye on the entire problem. Jordan has a large Palestinian population, and Pakistan has always stood for the Palestinian rights and the Palestinian demands for a statehood. So both Pakistan and Jordan can work together to ensure that the Palestinians finally should have some peace, some stability, and some future of looking ahead to a state which they have always aspired to.
Pakistani leadership, particularly during talks with Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif also took Jordanian king into confidence about regional security, particularly the recent clashes between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So Pakistan, of course, you better know, made it clear on Afghan Taliban, the ruling faction in Afghanistan, that there should be firm, decisive action against militant and terrorists who are indulged in carrying out subversive and terrorist activities against Pakistan. How you see Pakistan is presenting this narrative, since Afghanistan is also an Islamic country. So Pakistan is presenting its position, its narrative on this terrorism that emanates from Afghan soil.
Yeah. Jordan is equally determined to fight terrorism as Pakistan is. Jordan has suffered from terrorism of different kinds in its own country, and it is dead set against terrorists having any success or achieving any of their targets. So Pakistan and Jordan can work together on combating terrorism, because Pakistan needs to have outside friends for dealing with this problem that we have of the TTP from Afghanistan. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan is operating from Afghan territory and is carrying out daily terrorist attacks inside Pakistan. And we have to seek the assistance of our friends besides our own efforts, which we have decisively taken. We have raised the issue of terrorism in the SCO. The summit is due to take place next month, and we are also talking to the Americans for counterterrorism. We are talking to the Chinese for helping us with combating terrorism, and I think we should now work with the Jordanians as well in this regard.
So Jordan can have any influence on Afghan Taliban?
Well, I don't know if they have influence on the Afghan Taliban, but Jordan, as a Muslim country, has a good locus standi to talk to the Afghan Taliban and persuade them or convince them that it would be a very bad policy to allow Afghan territory to be used against Pakistan through terrorists and militants and all the violence, supporters of violence.
So, Excellency, during talks between Jordanian king and Pakistani leadership, this Gaza was discussed, and briefly you touched Gaza, but particularly suddenly this displacement of Palestinians has started. A mysterious plane carrying Palestinians landed in South Africa. So there could be more such displacements. That's a different thing, but there was this displacement plan earlier. Although the regional countries strongly opposed this particular displacement, sending Palestinians to Egypt or to Jordan or to the other regional countries, but particularly this sort of displacement, sending a huge number of Palestinians through flights to South Africa. What could be the motive and purpose behind this sudden displacement?
Well, Israelis are, you see, they are doing several things which are harming the Palestinians even more than the bombing that they had been conducting for all this while. The settlers are attacking the Palestinians in their homes in the West Bank. In the West Bank, the settlers are daily attacking Palestinians. Secondly, they are displacing the Palestinians. This is all, the Israeli government is behind all that. They are displacing the Palestinians and sending them elsewhere. And in the case of that plane that you talked about, you see, South Africa was not receiving them. So the poor Palestinians have become a football between Israel and other countries. The plane, the people in the plane had to sit at the airport for 12 hours before they were allowed to enter South Africa. So, you know, the Palestinians are being played around. They have become victims of these callous games that as Israel is playing. Now, displacement is something that should be opposed, because the Palestinians have a right to return to their homes. That is one of the principles that had been laid down for the settlement of the Palestinian issue, right of return. And they instead of being sent elsewhere, they should be returned to the areas that they were deprived of. So Jordan, which hosts a large number of Palestinian refugees, and Pakistan, which supports the Palestinian people, both can work together to oppose all these displacement plans. There should be no displacement of the Palestinian people from their homes. They must be given the right to stay in their homes, the right to return to those territories which were occupied by Israel, and the right to have a state. This is a 3-point demand that must be accepted by the world, and Pakistan and Jordan can work together in achieving these objectives.
Connected to this, then I will come back to the bilateral ties. So this Gaza peace plan is going to be discussed in UN Security Council, scheduled to meet on Monday. How you see this particular plan finally reaching a UN Security Council? And if it is adopted, there will be significant progress on ISF, International Stabilization Force, for which Pakistan is also being consulted along with, of course, all 8 countries, which were initially taken into confidence by the US President Donald Trump. So all eyes are set on UN Security Council. What are hopes? Do you think any country among P5 could veto this resolution?
Yeah, well, first, the very fact that it is being considered in the Security Council was at the demand of the Muslim bloc, the countries that President Trump had consulted, because the Muslim bloc said that any stabilization force that is deployed in Gaza must have the mandate of the United Nations. So the Security Council resolution, which has been tabled by the Americans, will be considered on Monday. And I think the resolution is not entirely to everybody's satisfaction. Russia has given a counter proposal, another resolution. So that is all under negotiations. But I think eventually the American plan will be adopted. Russia and China, even if they are not happy, they will not veto the resolution. They will probably abstain, but not veto it. So if the stabilization force is established under that resolution, then Pakistan will be one of the countries that will be called upon to provide us some contingent. So that will be the decision of the government of Pakistan, and it will depend upon the availability of any contingent or any small force that we can provide. But so that we don't know yet what the government will decide. But Pakistan supports the idea of a stabilization force. There is talk of Turkey and Qatar, Turkey and Qatar providing some forces, but Israel is opposed to Turkey's participation in the stabilization force. So it is yet to be seen which countries will eventually be acceptable to all the countries and to Israel, and will be willing and ready to provide the troops. So I think this is still under consideration and under discussion. But Pakistan will take a very positive approach in this regard.
So I would also like to seek your comment. Since this peace accord in Sharm el-Sheikh, there have been scores of attacks by Israeli security forces in Gaza that resulted in the killings of hundreds of Palestinians. Bombardment continued on infrastructure, on buildings. So where stands this peace accord, and why the grantors are silent on this continuous Israeli firing, attacks, raids, these all things are continuing. This all was supposed to be stopped.
This is a good question. You are quite right. This is the continuation of the bombings and the raids and attacks on the Palestinians is not in accordance with the principles that were adopted in the ceasefire agreement. Because under the ceasefire agreement, all attacks should be stopped by Israel, and the Palestinian people should be allowed to resume their normal life. And after that, there will be a stabilization force which will be established, which would guarantee the peace. These things are violation of the ceasefire accord. Therefore, the international community should take cognizance of this, and the Americans should take cognizance of this matter, because it is very harmful, very unfair for the Palestinians.
Now, coming back to bilateral ties and cooperation, while you were ambassador in Amman, Jordan, you might have witnessed there are a large number of Pakistani skilled skilled labor also working in different sectors in Jordan. So Pakistan currently, as we are witnessing, is having one of the largest young population, educated, skilled, highly trained. So what are the opportunities, possible opportunities for Pakistani youth to get jobs in Jordan?
Well, there are many opportunities. There are many avenues in which Pakistanis can go to Jordan and play their role in improvement of their economy and of their system. Mateen Saab, there are lots of Pakistani teachers in the Jordanian schools, yes, who have gone to Jordan to teach. Many of them are teaching English, and they are teaching other subjects like physics and chemistry and mathematics and other things. So we can send more teachers to Jordan, which will give more opportunities to our teachers in Pakistan who graduate every year. And then there are other fields in the vocational field, in electricians and plumbers and building constructors and all these other fields that in which Pakistani youth and the younger population can participate. So there are also doctors are needed in Jordan. We can provide doctors. We can provide many professional people in Jordan for their development.
One quick question about prospects of tourism. Pakistan is holding tourism road shows in different parts of the country. Pakistan has huge tourism potential. So how Pakistan can attract Jordanian tourists in exploring different historical rich places and diverse tourism potential in Pakistan?
Yes, we can do two things. We can invite Jordanian tourists through a proper campaign focused on Jordan and making them aware of Pakistani historical sites, Pakistani cultural sites, and all these various areas. And we can also benefit from Jordanian experience in tourism, because they have a very developed tourism industry. There are, they attract a lot of European tourists for visits to Petra, which is an old ancient city, to the Dead Sea, and to the cities like Jerash, which is an old Roman city. These places, people from Europe and America go to Jordan for visiting. So we can learn from the Jordanian experience for attracting tourists in Pakistan from other countries also. So it should be a very good experience in terms of bilateral cooperation.
Finally, Pakistan and Jordan are part of the Muslim world, and Muslim world is confronting so many issues, so many problems. So, how both countries, Pakistan and Jordan, can forge cooperation, particularly in combating and dealing with the issue of Islamophobia.
Right. The Jordanian king, Mr. King, His Majesty King Abdullah, and his father, his grandfather, they all have been like King Abdullah I, King Hussein, and now King Abdullah II. They have all been advocates of moderate modern Islam and of
Interfaith harmony also.
projecting Islam as a peaceful religion, as a religion for the future. So we can work together with the Jordanians to project Islam and counter Islamophobia, which is going on in the Western countries. So there is a lot of scope for us to work with the Jordanians in this regard.
Thank you so much indeed, former Ambassador Ali Sarwar Naqvi, who served in Jordan as Pakistan's ambassador and has highlighted some of the potentials Pakistan and Jordan has in different areas and how Pakistan and Jordan can forge cooperation in different fields, including culture, tourism, education, and what are the job opportunities for Pakistani skilled youth in Jordan and in different other fields like security, defense, economic, trade. There is a great potential for further improvement. Thank you so much once again, Ambassador Ali Sarwar Naqvi for participating in our program and exclusively commenting on Jordanian King Abdullah II's historic visit to Pakistan. Dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.